Bwipo calling it. Looks like Alfari's hovering, and he will lock it in. He is a man of the people. He is a man of the team. He is not going to take the counter pick. He's a workhorse.
All right, so let's talk about team composition.
Honestly, in this type of matchup, Cannon... Oh, there's a gank call.
Hold that thought. Slow going to come in. The follow-up there on the Storm. Wonder got good follow-up damage. Alfari now in trouble. The stun connects. Jankos will flash out just in time.
If you're not intending to take the Herald, then please just stay bottom side. Take your plates.
I like to hear that with the scaling potential of like a Senna, how their comp plays out.
Hold that thought, because apparently we're going to have a big game-defining play here. We'll see what the breakdown is after this, and that's going to be Perks on the backside, getting knocked low. The heal not nearly enough, and now Wonder comes in, but he might be too little too late. Just has to flash out to safety. Volibear alting away, and OG showing up just in time. Bwipo is
better. Maybe an unpopular opinion, Destiny doesn't play that many champions. He's a very small champion pool.
The Wombo comp here on the side of OG. Clear expectations set on the side of G2, though. They want to kick things off before the Wombo can come together. Kog'Maw layering down some damage there on the backside. Jackal now locked up, but he goes golden. Yanko's going to be in trouble. Shockwave coming over the wall from Nukeduck is nice, but now Wonder's on the way, and he has no flash. And still, he's going to lock up, find one kill back in exchange. Perks, though, now the one in trouble. Oh, this is the nightmare of every AD carry. He doesn't have a support. He's just going to get walked down by the Malphite. Oh, and the emote BM to follow up. I love it.
Hit him with the penguin. Yeah, Ashe into Malphite. That's never going to be a fun time. We talked about how Bwipo talks about how Alfari was not going to have fun in the lane phase, but would get his revenge in team fights. Speaking of revenge, here's Upset and Xerxes. Seeing if they can lock down Wonder. No flash on Kennen.
Look at his revenge in a side lane as well. Notice that Upset is just staying very far back. Does not want to get caught out in the ultimate here. Still, Wonder's going to leap forward. He's got good damage. He clears the entire creep wave. If he's got a little bit more, not enough. Healing up there with the piercing dart from a ludicrously long range by level 16. So while OG certainly can pull the trigger, had Nikki on Tahm Kench to kind of bail him out. And you look at the Ashe and you look at the Kog'Maw, and both of these champions would frickin' love to
see who was picked first, Nautilus or Kench. I have a feeling that Nautilus was picked first.
He was. Going through there. Pulling back, though. Now moving from Wonder, though, he's been exhausted. He's going to be able to stun a few members, but now he's isolated, does not have the Zanyas. The pullback is clean from Nukeduck, and Alfari's now...
Is he going to get out?
Oh, that's the ward. The denial on the recall. Oh, here comes Alfari. Shamrock, no 4-leaf clover for Perks today. That is just plain I don't think too consequential. We'll allow them to break mid lane tower, but OG, and specifically Alfari, kind of having a field day this game. After that early Kennen lane phase, I like that Bwipo pointed out. He's like, hey, Malphite's fine with this lane, because as someone who looks at that range advantage, I assume that Kennen's just going to smash, but we're seeing here now in the mid game, Malphite is absolutely taking over, and Jankos is, well, he's invested in some property here in the OG jungle, but oof, rough neighborhood, not where he wanted to be.
Those are not the returns that he was looking for on that property. Yeah, it's not great. Perks still without flash, so needs to be careful. No.
Mickey is going to get caught out and taken down here. Upset on a killing.
Pure Kog'Maw lane phase. I will give credit that, yes, Nukeduck has had some rough games, and this game hasn't looked rough, but I also don't think that he had, you know, the hardest matchup imaginable.
All right, that's a fair point.
I want to see a team fight with a nice shockwave, and then I'm all aboard the year of the duck.
It's just... we're not going that far. Calm down. One game doesn't put us right tank stats, but still, Malphite base damage is quite high. Perk's going to be the one in trouble, but still, Alfari not willing to pull the trigger here, setting his sights on the tier 1 tower instead. That opens up more space for OG to play.
To go slow. Yeah, their composition feels really good and scales decently well. But Caps is going to know, but if they did have eyes that Caps was using his back,
well, Caps is in trouble now. Cataclysm comes out. Caps is going to just get shredded here. Shut down now for Upset. Nothing he could do. His way into the mid lane. It's very clear that there is nothing that G2 can do to stop this one. And OG, 6K. They are set to take this game if G2 cannot find a miracle fight in their favor.
That was maybe the slowest Baron imaginable. At this point, we were talking about it earlier, one of the issues that G2's composition has is that it's very unsafe for Perks to go anywhere to try to extend and find goals. And so he's basically depleting the jungle and time these waves so they hit at the same point. So you're pressuring multiple points on the map.
But also, AP Kog'Maw just obliterates waves, even when it could mean trouble. Tahm Kench, of course, slowing himself means it's that much easier to connect any kind of damage, but Wonder is essentially tickling Alfari. Just now has the Void Staff, would have to fully commit if he really wants to take anything away from that Malphite health bar, but it is just not worth it. So Xerxes is going to ferry in a wave in the mid lane. Now looking at that mid lane inhib tower, Alfari will break an inhib in the bottom side, and OG are very much set to close the game here. Commanding performance from them in the mid game after what was a pretty slow early game.
Yeah, G2's effective carries right now, and Kennen and Kog'Maw just won't do damage to Alfari at this point. And now he's trying to set up, finding a potential R here. Caps is in big trouble.
Yes, he most certainly is.
He has flash.
Big ult. The sidestep is there. Caps, good patience, doesn't give it up.
But also, Alfari didn't pressure it at all.
No, and similarly, Upset is just stepping so far forward because he has no reason to be afraid. Wonder has to commit a flash to get on top of him, so he can just play this one out nice and slow, use that Glacial to keep people at an arm's length, and just keep waiting for Rapid Fire Cannon to be back up so he can poke. Of course, while they're grouped up, while they're fighting in the base like this, they are at the whim of Caps and this poke damage coming down. Eyes on Alfari, that ult can be massive, as can the Orion. And Nukeduck waiting over the wall. He is going to catch Wonder. The follow-up from Alfari is clean. The exhaust comes down. They have to make it out, and they manage to take down the cannon before he can ult. He died with flash available, and that most certainly should be the fight, but the damage from Caps is disgusting. Upset now in trouble. Caps shredding through. OG pushing into the base. They know it's about PvE. They do not want to fight the members of G2. Caps is doing far too much damage, but OG still winning the day for now.
Upset has teleport. He's actually just going to go back, heal, teleport back in. I think Origen are going to continue to try to suffocate G2 out here.
Caps is going to burn through his mana pool very quickly if he keeps trying to use the Bio-Arcane Barrage. Cost, of course, goes up the more and more, balances out the low cooldown. Has to be careful here, has to wait, has to bide his time, needs to clear these waves, but Upset continuing to step forward. Banshee's now procced for Nukeduck, ult not available for Perks. Jankos has his. Maybe they can try to get something kicked off, but Alfari simply too tanky. Cap's taking a lot of damage, finally uses the flash, but Alfari, he's got that ult back up. Thank you, Cloud Soul. But now Nukeduck caught behind enemy lines, the Kog'Maw passive value being maximized, but it just does not matter. The rest of OG are now descending. They need to buy space for Perks, but no, OG will not take the fight. They will take the game, they will take the Nexus, and they will take down G2 Esports in style.